Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Trinity Yenebo for those of you that are just joining us. And if you are just joining us, either you're a returning viewer but you haven't subscribed yet, or you're a new viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, please don't make it your last time by subscribing to my YouTube channel, turning on post notification, and of course giving this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching it. But if it's not your first time, meaning that you are a returning subscriber and a returning viewer, welcome back. Funny enough, today I'm in like my home clothes because I was meant to film another video. I was meant to film a reaction video, but the YouTuber that I was supposed to film with got caught up with something else, so we rescheduled. And I was like, okay, and I have a lot of time on my hands. The house is quiet. I'm basically the only one at home, so I decided to. I was reflecting. I've been thinking a lot, so I just felt that okay, I should possibly just make a video, and then we'll talk about the life lessons that 2021 as a whole has taught me. We're in November 2021, and I feel like I'm ready to wrap up my hair. I'm really ready to wrap up my hair because December is just going to be strictly vlogmas and vibe. I intend to vlog the entire December. I intend to vlog everything that I'll be doing this December, even if it doesn't come out well, because obviously I've never vlogged. If you follow me on this channel, if you are a follower on this channel, you'll realize that I have never done a vlog before, but I'm hoping that changes soon. So let's just get right into the video. Let's talk about the life lessons that 2021 has taught us, or has taught me. If there's anything, if the most beautiful thing that I feel 2021 has taught a lot of us, especially me, is to start. I mean, start that business, start that career, start that course, start to learn that skill, start anything that it is that you feel that you're waiting for the right time. The truth is, there is never going to be a right time to start anything, and I feel like 2021 has taught me that, really, and I think it taught me early enough. There's never going to be a right time to start anything. Never going to be. If you're waiting for the right things to align, you're waiting for the right things to just come together, to everything should just click before you start, my dear, you're going to be sitting on that stool for a very, very, very long time. And that's the truth. It's almost like let's liken it to a process of you traveling. Like you're traveling. You know that if you're traveling, if you're going by road or by air, let's take for instance you're going by air, you know that you actually have to book a flight. And then when booking a flight, you have to wake up, you have to pack your suitcases. And then packing your suitcases, you have to make a trip to the airport. And then making the trip to the airport, you have to board the plane. And then boarding the plane has to fly and obviously land you in the destination that you want to go. You don't just sleep and wake up in your new destination. It's the process, it's the journey. There are things involved. Sometimes you might have to make a trip twice because you forgot something, and then stuff like that. It's step by step, it's a journey. Never wait for everything to align. It's why you have to start, and then things fall into place. I learned that this 2021, and I wish that I did learn it earlier in the year. I wish that I actually did learn this last year during the pandemic. I wish that I learned it last year during the pandemic, but also nothing spoiled. Yeah, start that blog, start that career, start that profession, start learning that skill that you feel that you have to wait till you get everything before start. Bit by bit, everything will fall into place. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I feel like some people, I've had a lot of people who feel like I want to go back to school, but if I go back to school now, I'm going to spend 5 years in school. With 5 years, it's just 5 years. 5 years is almost like opening and closing your eyes, and then you realize 5 years is gone already. And then if you don't start the school this year, 5 years later, you realize that if I had started it 5 years ago, I would have been finishing by now. Okay, let me just start. Meaning, you just feel like you should have started it years ago. Thing is, the beautiful thing about there's always space for new beginning. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to start over, and it's never too late to start afresh. That is one of the things that 2021 did teach me. I think that another thing that I learned in 2021 is that you have to find a way to hold it on your own. Okay, you won't always have people coming to hold it down for you. really, you won't always have people coming to hold it down for you. You're going to have to learn how to hold it on your own. You're going to have to learn how to cheer yourself. You're going to learn how to encourage yourself. You're going to have to learn how to do things on your own without solely depending on anybody else. I mean, coming through for yourself over and over again and not making excuses for yourself because other people failed to come through for you. Do you know what I'm saying is making sense? But I have learned time and time and time that, for example, YouTube, I learned early enough to, I think after my first 2 videos, I just stopped depending on people to, if you're going to share my link, fine. If you're not going to, because I was actually expecting people, because I know that I'm a very supportive person, so I was kind of like expecting the same kind of support back. But let's just say that I was a bit disappointed, and I didn't really hold any grudge against anyone, because if I was going to be going by human standard, I definitely should hold a grudge or two against people. But I really didn't see it that way. I just felt that if I was going to go anywhere far, I had to hype myself. I had to wake up every morning and hype myself, hype my channel. Even if I had known that I never filmed a vlog, I just feel like, okay, this content, you're not going to get any content, you're not going to get this kind of content on another channel. You have to subscribe to my channel. I had to learn how to hype myself by myself, for myself. And I think at some point the rest, people started following. Like these days, when I just share my link on broadcast messages, I just find out that a couple, almost more than half of my contacts actually do reposting, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, that's serious. I don't have to really beg or cajole you guys again. Truth is, you have to learn how to pull through for yourself. That's the truth. You're going to cry, but there's something one of my friends used to say. She would say, they cry, they go front. Like, just cry, they go front. Like you're crying, keep moving. You're tired, keep moving. I think the sentence is cry, they go front. Yes, cry, they go front. Meaning in English, technically, if I meant to think in English, it means keep crying. As you're crying, keep walking. Don't stop and cry. Cry and keep walking. Dust yourself. Learn how to dust yourself. Learn how to encourage yourself when you feel like things aren't really going the way that you want them to go. Another thing 2021 has taught me is that you should have to learn how to take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself, self-care, eat properly, go for medical checkup, learn how to take a trip to the doctor once in a while, once in 2 months, once in 3 months, to run a proper thorough check up on yourself. So if there are anything to discover, or if there are stuff you have to discover about yourself, so you discover them on time. Not that you're 27 or you're 30 or you're 35 and then you start seeing symptoms, full-fledged manifested symptoms, and then you realize that there's nothing you can do about it. Meanwhile, if you had started going for checkup at the age of 25, 24, 27, you would have noticed this thing and combat it immediately at that time. Self-care. Learn how to go out and take care of yourself. Learn how to go to spa sessions. I know that money is hard to come by. It's not hard to come by for me in Jesus' name. I know that purchasing currency purchasing power keeps going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. But try to take out time try to take out money and time to just sit and just, maybe if you don't want to go out, time just sit on where you sit in and reflect and just let out breeze and steam from your body. Time that you take out time to let out pressure out of your body. Self-care generally, anything that works for you as a form of self-care. For me, self-care is for me, I feel like self-care is looking good. When I feel like I don't feel so good, when I feel like I don't feel so good, I tend to just change my hair and I feel better almost immediately. If for some reason I am changing my hair too much within a short space of time, I'm not okay. I'm mentally not okay. And at that period, I'm either under a lot of pressure, or something is really bothering me and I can't talk to anyone about it. So I just find a way to keep changing my hair so I can feel good. There's something about making my hair that does that, it does this. I don't know, there's something about making hair, there's something it does to me. It makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like I'm in charge. I don't know how to explain it. For some people it's eating, for some people it's food, for some people is writing, for some people they are other, find out what works for you and ensure that it is healthy, and then ensure if it's something that you can invest in. I don't know how to explain, but whatever it is that you feel that makes you look good, that makes you feel good, try as much as possible to take our time to do it. It's part of self-care. Take a trip to the hospital, eat healthy, please, eat healthy, learn to eat healthy, learn to detox your body system from time to time, so you could get rid of toxins that you inhale or you eat or are being absorbed into your system. Take our time to do things like that. They are important. Another thing 2021 did teach me was not to neglect my spirituality. Spirituality is your spirituality is almost like your entire essence of living. It's what comprises your entire essence. For me, that's for me. I'm talking from a place of being a Christian. I don't know about you, but for me, like, neglecting your spirituality is almost like neglecting your life. I mean, how do you manage yourself if you're not spiritually in tune with your creator or your maker? In essence, what I'm trying to say is 2021 has taught me not to do this adult thing, this thing called life without God, except I'm in the mood to cry that period, or I'm in the mood to just faint unnecessarily that period, or I'm in the mood to just be depressed that period. That's when I can just choose to relegate God to the back and just try to do things my way. And most of the time, I always fumble it. And then I go back crying and I'm like, God, I'm sorry. I should have waited for your divine direction, but I've done it. I need you to come and help me fix it. And he just looks at me and like, what am I going to do with this girl? And then he steps in and fixes it. So sometimes I feel like, so why go through that stress of having to go and cry when I could have just asked and just wait for answers, and then I'll just do it the right way instead of doing the wrong way and then trying to fix my mistakes again. So another thing, basically, just don't do this adult thing without any sense of spirituality. Do not neglect your creator or your maker for any reason, except you just feel like, oh, I'm ready to gamble with my life. Another thing 2021 did teach me was you have to be nice to people. Be nice to people. People are going through a lot. A lot of people are going through a lot that they don't want to talk about it, that they don't speak about it, that you will never know until the situation arises and the truth has to be out. And then you realize that, Jesus Christ, I did not even know it was like this. I'll give you an instance. This happened 2020. Yeah, that last year, that was when Chadwick Boseman died, yeah? There's this lady, an American comedian. She's a female. Her name is Jessica. She usually drops celebrity gossips called Just with the Mess, where she dropped the gossip with hints of mockery and stuff like that. That's how she does it. So there was this time she made a bad joke about Chadwick. If you recall, before he died, there was this time he lost a lot of weight and his head was almost bigger than the rest of his body part. So she made the joke. I think she made the joke and tried to relate it to something along drugs or something. And he didn't reply. About a month or 3 weeks after that joke, she heard that Chadwick died. And then she came out and was like, she didn't know, she's sorry, she's this, she doesn't. And a lot of people actually did tell her to shut it, because really, it wasn't really necessary. A lot of people just told her to take her half-baked apology and get out. That's what I'm trying to say. People are going through a lot. So be nice to people. I mean, there is no reward. Actually, there is no reward for being rude and sassy, or making people feel like they are beneath you, or making people feel like they can never get to your level or some sort. So there's really no reward for that stuff. Really no reward. And it won't cost you a thing to be nice to someone. Simple greeting, just smiling when you greet someone, being nice when someone is trying to ask questions, or noticing little things about people. For someone like me, if I'm I'm in an environment, maybe a familiar environment, and I see someone trying to look confused, sometimes I ask, sometimes I trust my instinct and just ask, are you lost? Are you looking for something? And then sometimes I just wait until they can actually approach me, and then I'm nice about the answer and stuff like that. Just be nice to people, really be nice. Another thing 2021 has actually did teach me, although I haven't even started it, is that we have to, in as much as we're living for the day, we have to try as much as possible to think about the future. Yeah, you have to, in as much as you're living for the day, you try as much as possible to think about the future. For everything that we do will have consequences. If you save today, there'll be consequences of saving later, meaning you can actually like you get to reap the fruit of your labor later in the year, or you spend extravagantly and then 2 weeks later you're wondering why you did spend that amount of money on that thing that you did. Now the truth is, I have fallen victim about this a lot of times, where I just spend money the first 2 weeks, and the following 2 weeks I'm totally annoyed with myself. Not once, not twice, not 20 times. I'm learning. It's a place of learning. I'm learning, and so far so good. I'll say that my growth process is impressive. I'm really, in as much as friendship is important, try not to force yourself on people. That is one of the most beautiful things 2021 has taught me. In as much as friendship is important, in as much as no man is an island, try as much as possible to notice when you're not wanted in people's life, or notice when you're not giving up learn to know your place in people's life and act accordingly. That's what I'm saying. Learn to know your place in people's life and act accordingly. I'll say that I'm guilty. I have been guilty of overplaying my roles in people's lives. I have. For a couple of years, I know that I have been really guilty of overplaying my role in people's lives. And this 2021, I have learned my role in people's life, and I'm acting accordingly. Small. It's hard, especially when you're used to being when you're used to just giving off your whole energy, sharing your energy with people, whether they reciprocate it or not. It doesn't really matter to you. I have learned to start making it matter to me. If I give you energy level 20 and you are unfortunate enough to give me energy level 10, I will cut. I will withdraw. I will take my ATM to the bank and withdraw my energy back. Are you mad? Is something wrong with you? I didn't mean to be this violent. I didn't mean to be this violent because I can't explain. Just learn. This is actually from the flower that is behind me. I don't know what happened to it. I'm just saying that you should learn how to play your roles in people's life. Learn your roles in people's life. If they take you as a colleague, take them as colleagues. Don't take someone as a best friend when they see you as a colleague, and don't take someone as a colleague when they see you as a best friend. Return energy, match energies, babe. That is the spirit of 2021. Match energies. If you're saying 20, give 20. If you're saying 50, give 50. If you're getting I love you, give I love you back. Except you don't want to give I love you. For some reasons you don't want to give the I love you back, and you make them understand that you're a really good person, but I cannot just reciprocate the energy. Let them know that you can't reciprocate the energy. 2021 has taught me that you should never use social media standard to gauge your life, to measure your life in any form, be it career-wise, be it relationship-wise, be it friendship-wise. Do not allow social media deceive you. A lot of people are just setting funny standards on social media, but they are taking what you yourself cannot even take. You that is looking up to them, you that is looking up to that standard, they are taking shit that you cannot swallow, that you yourself can't swallow. So please, my dear, just have a standard, have something that works for you. There is no book to this thing called life. So do not use social media to gauge yourself. Someone said something the other day, said iPhone cameras will really make people feel like you cannot be on their level ever in this life, but see them in real life and you're like, no, na me fuck up. You just see them in life, I'm like, no, na me fuck up. Na me fuck up. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but try as much as possible. Do not make social media your catalog for success, your catalog to how you relate with your friends, your catalog to how you behave in your relationship. Do not use social media. People are lying. People are just on social media to lie and catch cruise. If you follow these people and catch cruise with them and then not know that they are lying, you are catching cruise and you are swallowing everything that they're giving you, I pity you. You will end up miserable. You end up miserable. You end up miserable. Miserable is your second name. Whatever you do not make social media a standard for your life in any form. Did anyone else learn contentment this year, 2021? Naira, the value of Naira taught me to be contented this year, because what in the name of Buhari really went on this year? Like, think that we were purchasing for about 250 Naira, or we are purchasing for 750 Naira, 800 Naira now. And it's funny because if I can't afford it, I can't afford it. I'm sorry. If I can't afford it, I can't afford it. You're not going to kill me. You're not going to put this on my neck and just tie it. You can't force me to buy it there. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. You're using 12. I'm using 8. Don't hook me, my dear. Your camera is clear. My camera is clear too. I learned contentment, and I'm grateful that I did not learn it the hard way. I used to feel that I was a contented person, but 2021 opened up new avenues on contentment for me because I learned contentment, darling. I did. I don't know about you, but I did. Please, let's be content so we don't put unnecessary pressure on ourselves. We don't pressure people around us. We don't pressure people that are helping us pay some of our bills or almost all of our bills. Let's learn contentment so we don't put ourselves into trouble. When I mean put ourselves into trouble, doing things that we're not supposed to because we want to afford the things that we could afford, not knowing that the purchasing power of Naira is getting so useless, but the value is just. I'm not an economist. I can't explain how this is doing in my head, but let's learn contentment. The final lesson that I'm going to be spilling is about trusting your instincts. That is one of the lessons 2021 has taught me. I know how many times listening to Sit Back at Home has helped my life, has helped me to be alive to this point. And I know how many times not listening to Don't Put Your Money There has made me lose money, or Don't Patronize That Bank. And boy, have I lost money. I lost money, and it used to pain me that me. I pride myself in being a very I can never lose money kind of person, but this year and all these things I would have avoided if I had listened to my instinct. When you're about a particular person, try as much as possible to find out why. If for some reason your instinct keeps making you feel uncomfortable about a business venture or an adventure trip that you're supposed to make, try as much as possible to sometimes obey without asking questions, or try to figure out why it's a situation where you can actually find out why. And trust me, you'll be so amazed as to what you discover, and then begin to give glory to God for saving you from that mess. Generally, I'm not going to talk plenty, so that I don't remember things that I should have not gotten myself into, and things that I should have gotten myself into if I had listened to my instincts. All I'm saying is listen to your instincts. Go. Then watch the video to this point and you haven't subscribed yet. Can I know why? Can I know why? Because this video has officially come to an end. I have spilled everything that I learned in the year 2021, and maybe the anyone that I didn't mention, if I do another sit down video before the end of the year, I'm sure I'll talk about it. But please, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a nice comment. It actually does help us too. Thank you so much for watching till this point. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.